Well, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association is very proud to be a producer-driven organization. And cattlemen and cattlewomen in every segment of the industry and state help to set the policy and direction for the association. And it's those same cattlemen and women that volunteer their time to serve in leadership roles at NCBA. Now, NCBA's new president-elect has a long history of beef industry service. Don Schiefelbein, who along with his father, 7 brothers, and 3 nephews, operates a diversified farming operation in Kimball, Minnesota, will serve the NCBA as its 2021 president-elect. And joining us now is Don Schiefelbein. And first things first, Don, congratulations on becoming president-elect of the NCBA. And with that said, what are some of those key outcomes of the NCBA's board meeting you wrapped up this week?
Well, it was a very unusual board meeting, as you can imagine, with all the virtual attendees and no in-face discussions. But as always, we had a lot of meat to discuss. And of course, top of mind right now was trying to get our arms around price discovery and getting these markets in the shape that we need to get them into. As you know, Russell, that we put together a working group to try and look at that. And they kind of reported on their findings. And when I say working group, Russell, they met 30 times since we met last. So they've been really rolling up their sleeves and trying to get around this whole idea of how can we get more negotiated trade, firstly, and secondly, how do we get more packer participation in every region? And I think they've come up with a solution. So hopefully we can move forward and do some tests and make sure we're getting that robust price discovery that all the cattle producers want.
Well, absolutely. The 2 most important things to farmers and ranchers are weather and markets still. So give us some additional details on the policy priorities for NCBA in the year ahead.
Well, you know, with the whole new administration, you kind of have to adjust yourselves for what they're looking at as well. And of course, front and center, you had to be probably living underneath a rock if you haven't heard the Biden administration say climate change, right? And so what we're trying to do, and what's very important for us to get off the ground early on, is this whole discussion around sustainability and make sure that we can try and make sure we adjust that discussions where we're part of the solution. You know, if you're a cattle producer and you live along these lands, you know how important it is to be a good steward of the land, make sure we take care of the animals in a respectful manner. And we need to make sure we get that message across to those in Washington, D.C. to make sure that when it comes to climate change, we're not the problem, by gosh, we're the solution. And I think that's a huge opportunity with this Biden administration.
Well said. And before we let you off the hook today, what opportunities do you see for NCBA and the beef cattle industry and its producers here in 2021?
Well, you know, I think the opportunities are immense. I think once we get our feet back on the ground within these markets, et cetera, as you know, Russell, beef demand has been incredibly good, right? And so once we turn that beef demand into a bigger share of the market for beef producers, I think good things are about to happen. And I think we're just really weeks away from turning this market into a very positive event for the coming year.
Well, Don, as always, we thank you for your time here on Cattlemen to Cattlemen and, of course, your service to America's beef cattle industry.
Thank you.
Now, to keep up to date on the progress of NCBA's policy work and to help make a difference in the industry, why not join Don as a member of NCBA? It's easy to do. Just call 1-866-233-3872 or visit the website ncba.org.